What's going on, everyone? Hope you had a good day. I know I have. But before we start the video here, I just want to point out for a sec, that only 32.6% of you guys are actually subscribed, and, you know, that's better than a lot of YouTubers, and better than before, which was like, what, 14.0? But still, not 100%, you know? And, you know, some call me a madman for having such high goals, but you know what? Whatever. But anyway, if you can go down, click that subscribe button, and turn on notifications if you know, watch more videos and get notified from whenever I upload. Oh, jeez, a tank. And don't be annoying like this tank, and, or never know. God. And, hit him, let's see if we can. Oh my gosh. I did not sign up for this. Yeah, okay. Anyway, if you all can, like, it's not your fault you didn't subscribe, you know, I'm not blaming anyone, although it's your fault you didn't subscribe. Why? But, without further ado, let's get into the video. Yeah, I'm not editing. Okay, so, here's just some enlisted gameplay. I'm going to talk about superpowers in the world that I think could, you know, like the countries in the world I think could be superpowers in the future. Well, I just want to start off by saying Ethiopia. And I know if you grew up, if you grew up, and if you're still alive, you probably have heard the stereotype of Ethiopia being a pretty poor, you know, diminished country. Well, actually, it has some of the fastest growing industrialization and economy in the world, not to mention, I think it's in a pretty favorable place to live. Being right next to Saudi Arabia, which, let's be honest, is bound to collapse anytime in the next, what, 20, 30 years. Not only that, but well, it's also right next to Somalia, which is going through some very hard times. Also surrounded by Eritrea, which it hates. Djibouti, which is, let's be honest, basically already its puppet state. And also, it's right, you know, and the Horn of Africa. Perfect trade, you know? I'm pretty sure that if it isn't already, it can make friends with Kenya over their disliking for Somalia. They could definitely declare war on, and they could probably justify war goals on Sudan and South Sudan, and Eritrea for recent political things. I forgot the name of the war, but there was a war, like a secessionist thing, some rebels. Anyway, I feel like Ethiopia could be a powerhouse soon, and in fact, I think that it could reach up all the way even to Egypt. I feel like Egypt isn't having the best luck currently with recent revolutions, and I'm getting messages on Discord very fast. Wow. Oh, that's distracting. With recent, there, muted. I think that it could go hardcore on Egypt with Egypt's recent situation. Sure, yes, Egypt is one of the most powerful nations in the East, although my prediction for the future of Egypt is non-existent. Egypt will always be a country, and it survived through some of the toughest times, being, you know, the Mamluks, and oh my gosh, they're multiplying. Being through the Mamluks, and also, yeah, the Carbites. And also being through multiple different empires, occupations, religions, peoples, etc., etc., etc. But I feel like the end of Egypt is kind of coming near. Not extremely fast, but happening without a doubt. I feel like that gun is shooting too fast, but I feel like Ethiopia could end up being a world powerhouse at any time. Or maybe next 40, 50, 60 years. So not any time, really, but, you know, it could be. Another country that I think could be a world power is India. India, for sure, is already a world power. They have a really good military, with a not so good military history. In fact, I don't think my research with India, they don't have an extremely good military history. There's a lot of military history with them being invaded by what at the time what would have been that world's Afghanistan, or in the region of Afghanistan. But that doesn't mean that India can't get it together in modern day, which from what I've heard, they pretty much have. India's gotten their stuff together in modern day, and I feel like if India can industrialize a bit faster, and if India can just, hold on, China, stay a democracy, and stay a US ally, then it will become eventually our as great as the US. Another country I think will be a world power is Indonesia, just because of its location and its size. What else? I think if Germany were to militarize, Germany would be a world power. Of course, if Germany were to militarize, they would get kicked out of the EU. And if Germany did militarize, they'd probably put their focuses to the east. All of their supply lines are in Eastern Europe, and they rely on the east a lot. And also, but I feel like Germany could militarize if Russia started to become a larger threat. If Russia started, interfering more with the Baltics, if Russia started taking the Baltics, if they started encroaching Estonia, if they started to threaten another USSR, Germany would no doubt stop them. Germany could probably be one of the world's sole powers. Probably top 5, definitely. Not above France, but above Japan. So I'd land about number 5 in the world if they could militarize, which of course they can't and probably don't want to. I mean, they really don't have a reason to. Like I said, or I actually haven't said it yet, but I feel like Africa has the potential to host a lot of world powers as Africa starts to, as European and Western countries start to shift their focus away from Africa, or as the world, because, China and everyone too, as the world starts to shift their focus away from controlling Africa and are starting to let African nations do their own thing and be their own thing. As the past, the influence left from nations' colonialization is starting to wear off a bit, I feel like Africa will be a battleground for new and powerful nations. Some people ask me, because I do like alternate history, and I do alternate history all the time. All the time. But, that Windows sniper. But anyway, I feel like Africa will be the home of the next Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan, or the next great conqueror like Alexander the Great, or Attila the Hun. I feel like the next big leader, global leader, and conqueror is going to come out of the continent of Africa for sure. My bets on where are probably going to be Kenya, or Mozambique, or Ethiopia, probably somewhere in Eastern Africa, just because of, it's the geography, mainly. One thing I think for sure is that I'm almost 100% sure Ethiopia, if nothing dramatic happens within the country that causes a separation, Ethiopia will come out on top of the empire. I feel like one of the only ways through alternate history that Ethiopia could not succeed in forming an empire or could have a struggle is through Kenya. Or not Kenya, but a nation that could come out of Kenya, or Kenya could come out of. Yeah, that could come out of a deal with Kenya. Anyway, it's called the EAF, East African Federation. Play conflict of nations or are invested in Eastern African politics. You may have definitely heard of it. Here. And well, I know this is my first video talking about alternate history and what ifs. I'm no what if altist. Although I do think we share a lot of the same ideals on what would happen. I love this rifle, by the way. Don't like this aim though. And there we go. Yep. You're kinda weak. Don't like this rifle. So yeah, that is what I think about alternate history and who I think will become powerful. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and